how can we trust God and let go? People say, trust God and let go. It's not that easy. It requires faith. But how can you have faith to that level where you can let go of things you don't want to let go? So we're going to continue the series by faith. If you missed the previous episodes, please do catch up, as there are some amazing truths we are unpacking in every episode. I went to an adventure park with my family a few weeks back. Me and my 11-year-old son did a treetop adventure. You climb a 30-feet tree using some steps they provide, and they put a harness on you, attaching to a rope that goes via a zip line from one tree to another tree that is very, very far. When you are ready, you let go of yourself. So the harness will hold you, and the zip line will take you from tree to tree. That's 30 feet high. It is not scary until you go to the treetop, and when it's time for you to let go of your footing, you get all the doubts. Did I put the harness correctly? Will the harness hold my weight? How will I land on the other side? You get all sorts of doubts. I couldn't do it for a few minutes. I was stuck in that place. My son, on the other hand, instantly moved from tree to tree and was having fun. That's when I realized children easily trust. They don't analyze and make things complicated. See, faith has three aspects. Faith begins with understanding, leads to conviction, and always completes itself in commitment. You understand, you reason to probability, and then you decide and commit to certainty. Faith only completes itself in certainty. You have to commit, you have to live through it, you have to rest in it, you have to stick to it, and then you come to certainty. What am I saying? See, in order to put faith in something or someone, you need to understand the object of your faith. You need to reason the probabilities. Will it hold my weight? Will this harness hold my weight? What are my options? You speak to someone and to get assurance. You gather the facts and understand. And that's the first step. It's a rational process. But this reasoning is only on the basis of probability. You don't know it for sure until you let go. Then you decide and you let go. That is, you commit to it. This commitment is only on the basis of probability. You can't know for sure at this point. Faith hasn't completed itself. Only when you make a commitment, only when you let go, you will come to a certainty that it indeed holds your weight and it is safe. Until you let go, you won't be certain. You need to make yourself vulnerable and let go. Put yourself in the ability of that harness to hold you through that process. You have to commit. You have to rest in the hands of the object of your faith. Live through it. You have to stick to it. Then comes certainty. And as time goes on, the certainty grows. Another example is that when a doctor says that you have to undergo a surgery, you don't instantly commit to the operating table under the hands of the doctor. You reason whether it is a necessary surgery. You get second opinion. You validate the doctor's history to see if he's a skillful doctor. You collect all the evidences and facts. Then you decide to get operated and you put yourself in the operating table. Even at that point, you're not certain. You're taking this decision based on probability. But you've made your decision based on the best of your ability, based on the understanding. You couldn't know for sure until you make yourself vulnerable to that doctor. Only after you put yourselves in the hands of the doctor, you can be certain. And this is how faith works. We reason to probability and commit to certainty. Faith begins with understanding, leads to conviction, and always completes itself in commitment. But many people do it wrongly. They reason to certainty and then make the commitment. This is why many people are unmarried and living together without the commitment of marriage, because they are afraid to commit. They want that certainty before they make the commitment. And it will never work that way. You cannot get that certainty until you make the commitment. You cannot make the commitment until you're convinced. And you cannot get convinced until you understand. You cannot get understanding until you open the scriptures. See, in order for you to let go in the hands of God, you need to open the scriptures and immerse yourself in scriptures. You need to understand the nature and the character of God through scriptures and come to a conclusion that you can trust him no matter what. You need to understand what God is like through the scriptures. The Bible says he's a powerful God. He made all the galaxies and stars, a solar system, and sun, moon, and everything in it. See, some of the largest star, scientists are saying some of the largest star can fit quadrillion Earths inside it. I'm not talking about billion or trillion. I'm talking about quadrillion Earths inside that star. It's massive. But that just one star. A galaxy can have billions of stars, and there are more than trillions of galaxies in the observable part of the universe, and God made all this. You do the maths to understand how big our God is. And it's the same God who's asking you to trust and let go. And not only that, the Bible says he loves you so much. Paul wrote, he who did not spare his own son but gave him up for us all, how will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? See, he loves you to the core and is ready to sacrifice anything for you. You need to rest in this truth. Therefore, whatever life challenges may come your way, you need to come to a conclusion that God is with you. You can entrust your whole life into this powerful and loving God. Paul understood this, and that's why he wrote, I know whom I have believed, and I'm persuaded that he is able to guard what has been entrusted to me until that day. See, Paul was persuaded, he's convinced that God is able. In Galatians chapter 2, Paul said, the life I live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me. Paul is saying, I have faith in Jesus Christ. I have total faith, confidence in Jesus Christ. He loved me and he gave himself for me. I can trust him and let go of anything he wants me to let go. Do you have that conviction? Do you have that assurance? If not, you need to look at Christ and understand what Christ did on Calvary. To what extent he went to show that he loves you. You need to get that understanding first. Then you will come to a conviction that if God can do that, then you need to trust him with everything. He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? See, when you understand what this verse means, you will come to a conclusion and a conviction that Christ is all you need. Hold on to that love shown for you in Calvary. Rest in that industrial strength of God's love, and you stick to it, you live through it, you embrace it. No matter what doubt comes your way, hold firm to your convictions. Keep immersing yourself with the scriptures. Understanding comes by opening the scriptures, and conviction comes by understanding the scriptures, and commitment comes after conviction. And then you get certainty. Faith completes itself in certainty. When you have that understanding and conviction, you will place your life under his mighty and loving hands. You will trust him and let go. Doesn't matter what life brings your way. You will let go and say like Paul, I know whom I have believed, and I'm persuaded that he is able to guard what has been entrusted to me until that day. I hope that's an encouragement for you. Thanks for watching, and God bless.